For the weekend of March 17, Streamline recommends Collateral in the top Netflix spot for the second time. This crime thriller is very good. Netflix has been putting out quite a few crime thrillers lately, but this one is particularly worth a watch. And as mentioned last week, the show is a mini-series, so the time commitment required to watch it is relatively minimal. What's new this week on my block debuts? The show is somewhat similar to the recent release of Everything Sucks, in that the focus here is on high schoolers figuring out their adolescent lives. The tone is much more directed to the demographic of the characters though. It's essentially a teen comedy. And this doesn't qualify for the Streamline rankings as it's non-fiction, but Wild Wild Country also joins Netflix. This show follows the rise and fall of an American cult that ultimately turns to violence. If you are a fan of the recent podcast Heaven's Gate or the show Waco, this is definitely worth checking out. Make sure to subscribe to the new Streamline newsletter. Top 5 news from this week: The Crown paid star Claire Foy, who played the Queen, less than Matt Smith, who played a prince. Smith was also considered a supporting actor. Producers cited this was because of Smith's fame from Doctor Who, but now claim that going forward, nobody will get paid more than the Queen. A former crew member on Stranger Things accused the Duffer Brothers, the creators, of verbal abuse toward multiple women. Both Netflix and the Duffer Brothers deny this. In an update from last week, Tom from the first episode of the new Queer Eye reboot is now engaged to his ex-wife Abby. The episode had focused on trying to make over Tom so he could impress her. On Twitter he invited the cast to his wedding. Netflix appears to be trying to make a weekly news show that would compete with 60 Minutes. Presumably, Netflix wouldn't have the same political baggage of an NBC or Fox and might be able to attract viewers from both sides. According to the anonymous source quoted by MarketWatch, that seems to be the hope. Key and Peele are reuniting. It's just as voice actors on an animated movie, though, a project called Wendell and Wild. Random Netflix tweet: The Netflix Twitter account is one of those try-hard media brands that likes to make jokes. Streamline will present one a week without comment. Never play hide and seek with the Bluth Boys. Picked out twitter.com/5TDFPKFFC9, Netflix US, at Netflix March 15. 2018 assorted Netflix announcements: Dax Shepard will be temporarily replacing Danny Masterson on The Ranch as a new character. Netflix surprise added more episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000 from that show's archive. After developing a feature that gamified binge-watching for children, Netflix has decided to shut it down after complaints it made kids addicted to the service. Streamline includes related reading below to show recommendations, as well as a list of other shows and movies joining the service this week. Note: this list only includes shows that debuted their most recent episode less than a year ago. Much like the main list, it prioritizes newness. Fabio Affuso / Netflix number 1. Collateral Season 1 release, March 9. 2018 plot: crime thriller in contemporary London. Pro: it's a compelling watch that stays fun with a constant sense of humor. At just a few episodes, this is also pretty much just like one long movie. Con: at times it certainly feels like yet another crime thriller. Here's the trailer. Carey Mulligan stars in this. This is the second big project Mulligan has starred in for the company recently, as she had a big role in Mudbound last year. If you were into that long Season 3 Black Mirror episode that just felt like a police procedural with British accents, you should definitely check this out. Suzanne Hanover / Netflix number 2. Love Season 3 release, March 9. 2018 plot: couple sometimes loves each other. Pro: the show depicts relationships in a generally more realistic, mundane way that's strangely compelling. Con: because not much happens plot-wise, the show occasionally has characters act irrationally, which is frustrating to watch. David Giesbrecht / Netflix number 3. Marvel's Jessica Jones Season 2 release, March 8. 2018 plot, former superhero still fights crime. Pro, Kristen Ritter is very good as the protagonist in this. The superhero aspects are actually pretty subdued, which is welcome in this superhero glut. The plot moves a bit too slow for a show that is still presenting itself as an action-driven project. JoJo Wilden / Netflix number 4. 7 Seconds Season 1 release, February 23. 2018 plot, a trial about police racism. Pro, this is a very solid crime thriller. It's a standout in a popular genre. The show isn't very innovative. It also drags on a bit. John O'Flexer / Netflix number 5. On My Block Season 1 release, March 16. 2018 plot, friends try surviving high school. Pro, the characters are unique for the teen comedy genre. It's often funny. There isn't much reason to watch this if you're outside of the high school demographic. Here's the trailer. The similarly high school set Everything Sucks recently debuted with a writing style that could appeal to both teens and adults. This new show is more just for teens. Regardless, the characters are fun to root for in their youthful adventures. Netflix number 6. The End of the Fucking World Season 1 release, January 5. 2018 plot, teenage love with sinister undertone. Pro, this is an inventive take on the teenage love story. You might be super out on the show's main conceit. The main guy continuously fantasizes about being the main teenage girl. Netflix number 7. Black Mirror Season 4 release, December 29, 2017 plot, a series of dystopian vignettes. Pro, each episode is a standalone story, so you can start wherever. It's cliché to point this out now, but it's this generation's Twilight Zone. Con, this season isn't quite as strong as the previous. Mike Yarish / Netflix number 8. One Day at a Time Season 2 release, January 26, 2018 plot, immigrant family conquers issues together. Pro, for a sitcom. This show has a ton to say about the myriad ways families are struggling to stay together and thrive today, especially in regards to Cuban Americans in the current political climate. But there's still a constant stream of jokes. It still has a pretty run-of-the-mill sitcom format that can be tiresome. Additional Netflix stories. The 4 best movies Netflix adds this week. 10 Netflix movies with female directors you should watch. This month here's what is leaving and arriving on Netflix in March 2018, and here are the shows and movies arriving on Netflix through the rest of this week. March 19th, In Search of Fellini. March 20th, 100 Years, One Woman's Fight for Justice, The Stand-Ups, Season 2. Netflix Original. March 21st, Conor McGregor, Notorious. March 23rd, Alexa and Katie, Season 1. Netflix Original, Dino Truck Supercharged, Season 2. Netflix Original, Game Over, Man. Netflix Original, Layla and M. Netflix Original, Requiem, Season 1. Netflix Original, Roxanne. Netflix Original, Santa Clarita Diet, Season 2. Netflix Original, Sword Guy the Animation, Part 1. Netflix Original, The Mechanism, Season 1. Netflix Original, Download.